Right, welcome back everybody. What you'll see is I've been busy here working on an app that hopefully some of you people will be interested in. It's iPhone only and it will be on the App Store at some point soon, but if you like this video, then that might give me some motivation to complete it earlier and get it up there, uploaded and ready for you guys to work with. So what it is, it's a basic business planning app, whether you're starting out or you just want to check how you're working with your figures. This should hopefully help you out really, and it ties in with a lot of the information I've been putting out there on the website in terms of working up your business plan, looking at your fixed costs, things like that. So it's not 100% accurate, and it won't apply to every business, and there's a lot of generalizations involved. But hopefully, it should help you realize that most likely you're undercharging for what you should be charging. And let's work through those figures now and see how they work for you. So essentially, my audience is Australian, it is UK, and it is USA. That's pretty much the people that watch my videos and visit the website. So we've got pounds or dollars. Now, I've tried to make the allowances for all the numbers wide enough to account for the differences in what those mean, but all that does is just change the symbol in front of anything. So it makes it easier for you to read, depending where you are in the world. So the first section we want to look at is how much you want to work, and then once we've got all the other costs added up, we can then divide it by all of this, and then you can see what your day rate needs to be, and indeed your hourly rate after that. So I've kind of got this as sort of UK standard, and you can fiddle around with it a bit more. There's just one thing down here where we look at your daily working hours, and I've put 6 here. You might want to work an 8-hour day, but within that, you're going to have some time for lunch, some time for breaks, some time between driving between jobs, starting the day, beginning of the day, end of the day, and then also loading your van at the start, cleaning your equipment down at the end, all that sort of stuff. So let's just say on site at people's properties, you can be there for 6 hours. Now we want to look at what you want to earn. Is it 30? Is it 10? Is it 100? I don't know. Only you can answer that question as to what you want to earn from your business. But hopefully this will show you, if you start at 30, maybe, is that the number that you've got to make your business work for you? Is it 50? I don't know. Only you know, but using this app, you'll be able to see quickly how much more you've got to charge by working these different hours to actually hit those goals. So if we go for 30 to begin with, because that's in and around the UK average salary. Now you want to look at what your car, your van, your motor expenses will cost. Now, this is an annualized expense, so that could be your depreciation every year on a van you own. It could be the lease cost of a new van. It could be the HP of a used van that you've bought somewhere, or PCP, or anything like that. This is basically your annualized motor expenses, and so that's going to include all of your fuel, all of your repairs, your MOTs, your maintenance, your tyres, windscreens, insurance, everything. I know off the top of my head, that my VW Transporter costs me about 300 and something. I don't know, let's say 350 plus VAT a month. I pay for the lease on that. My insurance is probably 400. So we're knocking, and I've got to spend a couple of grand on fuel, some on tires. So I'm probably 4.5 maybe in my business. But again, it depends on what you want to spend. And again, if you're looking at leasing something new or you're doing other bits and bobs, then this will give you a nice example of how much more you've got to charge to cover those costs. Next up is your equipment costs. How much have you invested in that equipment? So this could be, two £2,000 mowers, a £500 strimmer, and a £500 blower. There you are. You're up at £5,000. It could be more, it could be less. How much will it last? I mean, I've got equipment that's been going for knocking on 10 years now. But you need to look at it in terms of how hard you're going to use it and actually what you want that payback period to be. So if you set this bit of money aside each month, then you'll build up a nice little equipment fund in your business that then you can go and replace everything, and you don't have to stretch it till it's smoking and barely starts. After 3 years you can say, right, we'll get rid of that equipment and then we'll chop it in. So let's go to 3 years and then start again. Next, there's all the other random costs of the business. how much your laptop is every year, how much your subscriptions to Office 365, your email, your accountancy fees, your accountancy software, if you're using things like Jobber or anything else like that. This is all going in here, okay? 2.5 is a rough estimate, but I don't know. You tell me. That's this. Basically, this enables you to play with your figures and set your budgets, and then your marketing budget. How much are you spending on your website? How much are you spending on flyers? How much are you spending on your vehicle wrap? How much are you spending on printed workwear? How much are you spending on banners or advertising in local magazines or anything like that? This is what you put in here. I put $5,000. I basically spend, I don't know, less than 1,000 on my business now. It's established, but that's for you to decide. Next up, your profit margin. So if you only had all of these things, you wouldn't be making, all you'd be doing is covering all of your costs, and you wouldn't have anything extra to reinvest in the business. Now, that could be you want to reinvest to employ someone. It could be that you need to buy an additional van, that you want to buy a ride-on mower and a trailer. You want to really go big on Google advertising, anything like that. That's what you can do in here. So 20% is a general business margin. If you were working on nothing, so you can see what happens here is that the numbers update in all of the spreadsheet down here, in all of the text and everything. Everything is live. Every time you adjust anything of this overall message at the end gets updated. I'm going to say 20% because that gives you a nice margin to reinvest in your business, and it's probably a good place to start. So then what we do is we get your overall results table to say what salary, and I've tried to word this in a way that it makes sense and it's really easy to read without being overly technical. So if you want to earn a salary of 30,000, that's an adjustable number. Cover this much in running costs, that's another adjustable number. And replace all of your equipment every however many years you've said, and make the additional profit, so that's this profit margin figure coming in. You will need to sell this many hours of work for this many days each year. This is what your hourly rate would be, and this is what your day rate would be. If you can do that, your total company revenue will be this much. So that's your turnover. Revenue and turnover are the same thing. So that's what your company turnover would be. So you're still below the VAT threshold. What I've done here in the annual cost of employment is I've added 20% onto your salary. So that then covers your cost of employment. So NI, workwear, training, PPE, all that kind of stuff. General cost of employment, it's a general business thing. It costs 20% over and above all your pension contributions as well. 20%, on whatever you're paying someone is the cost of employing them. Then your van cost. So this is how much overall money you're gonna take if you manage to achieve all of this. Less what you pay yourself and the cost associated with that. Less what your van costs. Less how much your equipment depreciates. Less how much your admin and marketing budget is, and then so that's the total of your annual costs, which is all of those things there added up. And then your profit for reinvestment is that figure minus all of those, which is that, gives you that at the end. And that's the amount that you can reinvest. So you'll see here, if we adjust these figures, if you want to make no profit margin on top, then your turnover equals your costs. So you're basically starting with zero again at the end of the year with no money left in the business. So that's why this is an important figure to play with. And you can see how if you're operating at a 10% profit margin, you are looking at £254 a day. But if you're working at a 20% profit margin, it's £277 a day. And that makes quite a big difference overall at the end of it. Equally, if you then wanted to earn the difference between 30 and 40,000, so 30,000 you've got to sell here at 277 a day. But if you want to earn 40,000, 344. So is that possible? Is that doable within your marketplace? I don't know. That's up to you to decide. But here's the app with all the variables in it, and it will spit out some numbers that will help you get an idea as to how much you need to, how much you need to work really to make the business work. So there you go. That's a rough idea of what the app's looking like currently. It's in the testing phase. So if you give this video a thumbs up, then hopefully if there's enough of them, it will get me off my arse and I can go and launch it out to the store. So thanks very much for watching. Catch up in a bit. Cheers.